not sure if recording our podcast in this building entirely made of wax with a giant fire in the basement was a good idea.
I don't think any of our ideas are very good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, welcome to Two Ghouls, One Brain Cell.
You have a lot of options when it comes to horror movie podcasts.
But we're the worst.
I'm Paris Hilton's light blue velour tracksuit, Teresa.
And I'm the kid that used to stick their fingers in melting candles just to feel something.
Oh
Star. It's funny because it's true.
I was the same kid.
Yeah, it's a common thread. Well, since Teresa, I feel like this is really your movie. Do you want to take... Oh, wait, we didn't even say what it was. I think our opening should have given away. But, Teresa, what are we discussing today?
We watched The House of Wax.
From what year? Is it the original with Vincent
yes.
Price?
No.
Oh.
There's a lot of versions of The House of Wax, but
yeah.
No, this is the 2005 classic.
Also, our third almost 2-hour-long movie. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
I don't know. This one did also feel like a painful 2 hours by the end. But yeah, I actually loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic, and I was dying laughing the entire time. Not only does it feature my favorite person in the whole wide world, Paris Hilton, it also features Jared Padalecki of Supernatural fame.
Gosh, yeah.
And also the frickin' guy, the love interest from both Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan one, and A Cinderella Story, the Hilary Duff one. So, I was enjoying this heavily.
Is that the brother?
No, I think he's the love interest. I think in both of them, because he's
No.
The
movie in House of Wax. Is he the twin brother in House of Wax?
Oh, yes, he's the twin brother.
Huh.
What's his name?
The actor's name?
Yes, Chad Michael Murray.
That's a serial killer's name. Who has he killed, Teresa? Name names.
I don't know.
The correct answer was this pussy. I'm sorry. You have been eliminated and voted off the island. Yeah, well, you definitely have more knowledge and reference to early 2000s television, because up until this very day, pretty much all I watch are cartoons because I'm a child.
I mean, you're very valid. I haven't watched any of like the TV shows that he was in, but I heavily watched Supernatural back in the day. So being on Tumblr.
Yeah, I dipped my toes in for I think like freshman to halfway of sophomore year of high school. I think I was into it.
And you didn't recognize Jared Padalecki in that?
No, I did. I said you didn't. I only recognized Paris and him, and yeah, and everyone else. I know they were probably on early 2000s television or movies, but if they didn't voice Kim Possible, aka Christy Carlson Romano, I don't know them.
What did you think of this movie overall?
I really didn't want to watch it, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Did you only select this movie because you know how much I love Paris Hilton?
Yes.
Wow.
Everything I do for you, T-Bone.
Oh, thank you.
It's because I love you. Do you want to jump into this plot? Oh, wait. But neither of us have seen this movie before watching it for this, right?
No. I also have not seen the originals. Have you?
No, but I love Vincent Price.
Well, perfect.
He seems like he would have been like a good but interesting fuck back in the day. And I hope after he came, he would go, ah, ha, 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 is what my wet dreams tell me.
Yes. Your wet lesbian dreams about Vincent Price.
As a lesbian, I only like very weird men, I think, as a rule. That's not true. I like Chris Evans, who is the most generic and, well, widely loved man ever, so whatever. I'm basic. Who cares? Teresa, we have to stop avoiding this plot. We have to get into it.
Yeah.
So we start out in... this movie felt very much like Rob Zombie's Halloween. It felt very much like that. Did you have a similar feeling?
Yeah. I felt also like... It's just that 2000 slasher feel, you know?
Yeah, but this one also starts off in a flashback. Granted, it's much shorter, but also a flashback to the 70s where we have...
Oh, true.
Yeah, where we have... you can't see anyone's faces in this, which is a choice. And it's two kids. You see one kid's like eating his Cheerios. Oh, I'm a bad dog mom, by the way, because I let my dog eat some of my Cheerios with milk. I think he's lactose intolerant, and I'm a bad person.
I think if they have a little milk, it's okay. They just get bad farts.
He has bad diarrhea. He has diarrhea, and because I'm a bad mom. Yeah, and then they bring another kid in who is very feral, and they have to tape him down to a chair and belt him in. And then he scratches the mom's hand, and she slaps him, and then it's a hard cut to the House of Wax logo. And this music, the music all throughout this movie, this fucking, I believe this is what the kids call new metal.
Dude, it's fantastic.
Oh my God.
It's got Spitfire, it's got Marilyn Manson, it's got My Chemical Romance. Bruh, it is so good. You can't get a more 2000 soundtrack.
Every next song that played, even if it was a serious moment, I would just burst into laughter.
Dude, you have no idea. When Spitfire started playing, I transcended. It just unlocked so many memories for me watching anime AMVs using that freaking song and...
Now we're at a restaurant gas station thingy with a bunch of teens. So I couldn't keep, there's a lot of characters, as most slashers do, so I literally have the wiki up so I can say people's names. So there's Carly, who is Alicia Cuthbert. Her boyfriend Wade, the previously mentioned Jared Padalecki from the Supernaturals. Her brother, her twin brother, that's important, Nick, Chad Michael Murray. And by the way, who has he killed? If you know, write in. Oh, her best friend Paige. I had no idea Paris's name wasn't Paris in this. Because the whole time I think I just blocked out anytime they said her character's name because I'm like, no, that's Paris Hilton. That's Paris Hilton playing Paris Hilton.
It is literally just her.
And then Paris has a boyfriend named Blake, who I believe is John Abrahams is the dorky friend. So then oh shit, he looks really familiar. He's in Scary Movie.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Iconic. All right. I say even though I've never seen one of those movies to completion.
Whoa. Maybe we're gonna have to.
I don't. So much. Their movies have so much piss in them.
And cum.
I don't mind
weed.
Well, I don't mind weed and cum as much as I mind piss and vomit. Someone vomits.
Yeah, there's a lot of vomit.
Cannot stand it. Oh, okay.
I used to like. Okay, sorry.
I mean, what were you gonna say about
No,
vomit?
I was gonna say that I used to watch the second Scary Movie, like, religiously as a child. I don't know why. It'd be like every time I would go over to my friend's place, we'd just watch the second Scary Movie.
Which one has what's up?
That's the first one.
That's like the only thing I like from it. Okay, we are way
Yeah.
off base. So Paris's boyfriend is Robert Richard, who is pretty cute. I thought he was handsome.
He plays in a movie that's called Chocolate City,
I'm
which
looking
is
at
about
it right now. Is it Black Magic Mike?
it's Black Magic Mike, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. Vivica Fox is in it.
So good. Okay.
Genuine
Just needed to add that tangent.
Teresa Genuine is in that movie.
Who?
Genuine from
Who's that?
from the song Pony.
What?
We'll discuss this later.
Okay.
Okay, we need to get back to the past, Samurai Jack. All right. Oh, again, I have no idea how old the characters are ever supposed to be. Are they like college freshman age?
I assumed college age because she was getting an internship in New York or something, whatever that side story was.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. Oh, and so there's Dalton. I don't know if I discussed him. He is John Abrahams. He's a guy from Scary Movie. And he's just there basically to be like a little Rob Zombie with his handheld camera and sex jokes.
Yes. Also, that camera never, when it came back at the end, a lot of plot points, like, get brought up and then nothing ever happens with them later.
Yeah, I just have the note a little more cursing, and this would be a Rob Zombie movie. But they don't say fuck enough.
They don't.
Rob Zombie would be appalled. They're
He'd like our podcast.
He liked our podcast?
He would like our podcast because we swear so
Oh,
much.
we have potty mouths. It's true. I will never let my mom listen to this. Okay, so they are going to a sports football game and they're taking a detour and they're in two different cars and they pull up and Paris is giving her boyfriend roadhead, and then she says, nah, I just dropped my lip balm. Do you believe her?
Mm-hmm.
Who's telling the truth? Do you believe her?
I believe Paris.
Word. Right. Oh, and then later we see she's wearing like a brown velour track jacket and then like white low-rise pants, and I'm like, Paris is the only person in the world who could ever pull that outfit off.
Literally, no one else could. Like, literally, she has like the most iconic 2000s like fashion, and only because she's the only person that could pull it off.
And she has 500 extensions in a ponytail on the back of her head.
Yes.
And so they are camping in the middle of nowhere for a sports game. You would literally never find me in this position. I'm like, already this is so unrelatable.
Yeah, I was like, when they were like, oh, we should just like spend the night, I was like, okay, they're gonna go to a motel. No, they just fucking park in the woods and
He has
start camping.
Blake literally has a GPS in his thing. He couldn't just put in hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. He couldn't do that.
I don't know. I guess they wanted to save some money because they wanted to scalp some tickets, but I don't know.
They had really nice tents, though. I've never gone camping, but it was really funny because, like, the bigger tent, just like the bigger car, is literally only Paris and Blake, and then everyone else has to share this, like, it's still a nice tent, but it's a little smaller, and it's, I'm probably just gonna call, Jared Padalecki's character Jared. It's Jared, Claire, Nick, and Dalton are, like, all in one thing.
Yeah. I guess they're just really horny for each other. They can't have anyone interfere with their horniness.
Teresa, Teresa, I didn't know which
What?
group. I didn't know which group you were talking about at first.
Yes, the fucking.
Teresa. Well, that does okay. There's so many like, cause early 2000s gay jokes, as previously discussed. There's so many jokes about Nick and Dalton fucking. At this point, I'm just like, nah, they were fucking. I'm saying it. I'm saying it right here, right now. They fucked.
I'm gonna drop a big one on you. Fucking Nick and Jared Padalecki had some tension. That was what I wrote down.
Yeah, they had tension, but Nick and Dalton were lovers.
I think okay, maybe they're lovers now, but I think Jared was the ex-boyfriend. That's why he was so. That's why Nick was so hostile towards him.
Nick's ex-boyfriend or Dalton's ex-boyfriend?
Nick's ex-boyfriend.
The drama. When your fucking sister dates your ex, that must be very awkward. I understand.
Yeah, I would lash out as well.
Okay, so Paris has a small plot point that doesn't really matter, that she may or may not be pregnant. I have the note, either Paris is tall or Blake is a short king.
I think Blake is a short king.
I love that for him.
I don't think Paris is very tall.
Do that, Googles. Okay.
I'm going.
Alright. So someone in this movie does say that's hot once. Do you remember who it was?
No.
It's not Paris.
I didn't even. It wasn't Paris.
Who do you think? Take a guess.
It was her boyfriend.
Nope, it's Dalton, the camera guy. You know, he's constantly filming the ladies or something, and he just goes, that's hot. And I wrote it down immediately.
Oh, I can't believe I missed it. I'm such a fake fan.
Don't worry, I'm here for you. Okay, so they're camping, they're being teens, they got the beers, the football. I cannot relate. And then a creepy pickup truck pulls up, and you see that the dude has wrist marks. And as what we've only been shown by this movie, we can only assume that this is the man that was taped to the baby chair.
Yeah, Paris is 5'7".
She's. Oh, I don't know, but how tall are you, T?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, so she's like right in the middle of us. That's not bad.
She's pretty tall. I would assume that he's a short king.
I'm gonna assume he's a short king. I like that. So, and then Nick, who apparently was also a footballman, throws something at the headlight, busting it, and the dude drives away. Later, they're sleeping, and the video camera is filming them, but the video camera films all...
There's a lot of them.
Was it 6 of them? Yeah, films all 6 of them, yeah. And that leads to the question, but then who was video camera?
The man they threw the bottle at the truck. Spoiler.
Yeah. And then Alicia Cuthbert, aka Carly, senses this, and so she steps out. She steps out of the tent with just socks.
Oh my god, you were also, like, seething about that, thank you.
Yeah, because your socks are gonna get all squishy and gross in the fucking...
Oh my god, it was like, what's up with Americans and, like, wearing shoes to bed, but then fucking walking out on fucking dirty, wet forest ground in your socks. Like, bruh.
Teresa,
the one time to wear shoes to bed, you don't wear shoes to bed?
Teresa, what American that you know has ever worn shoes to bed?
Watch any American movie, they always fucking get in bed with their shoes on.
Really?
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
I would never do that, but I'm such a germaphobe.
Yeah, I mean, like, no one does it in real life, but it's just in the movies. Every movie, fucking, they, like, hop in their bed with their shoes on in their pristine white, like, linen sheets, and I'm just like, what is this? What are you doing?
Maybe, again, I've never camped, but maybe if I camped, I would keep my shoes on, just because I would think I'd be about to get murdered every second.
Well, I feel like if you were at a camp, you'd still, like, yeah, okay, you wouldn't sleep in your shoes, but you would, like, keep them by your, like, tent and change into them out before you got out of the tent, so.
If I was camping, I would never even fall asleep. I would just I'm not in nature. I'll be in nature for a little bit. I went to Fairmount Park yesterday, walked around for like an hour, and then immediately went to Wawa and got a hoagie.
I want a hoagie.
I still have half its tuna. It's very good with hot peppers. Ooh, mama.
Yummy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it is now the. This is like one of the major plot holes that I know everyone always points out about this movie is that somehow in a tent, all six of them managed to sleep in until 2:30 p.m. in the South in the heat.
I don't know. When you're a teen and maybe they were up late partying, I would sleep until 2:30 p.m.
I feel like the sun would force you to wake up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's true when you go camping, like you kind of do like wake up really early on your own.
They'd be getting baked like potatoes in there. So they're getting up, and Paris is in the classic, previously mentioned, iconic baby blue tracksuit.
So good.
Oh shit, I recently found a pink Adidas tracksuit at the thrift store and bought it. I would have worn it for this episode, but it is surprisingly hot here today for some reason.
Damn, I'm so disappointed.
Oh shit. At this point, I definitely had the names mixed up because I thought the main girl's name was Paige. Because again, Paris is just Paris. I refuse to believe she actually had a character name. But Carly.
No, she was just Paris.
Yeah, well, earlier they got a stench, a whiff of a foul odor. And then Carly.
And then they follow it.
Yeah, for some reason, would you investigate a stinky odor, or would you just avoid it?
Avoid it. Most smart people would avoid it.
Exactly. Paris Hilton is a genius. Thank you. Yeah, because the whole time she's just like, Carly, why are you going closer to the stinky stink?
Oh. And then she falls into the stinky.
Ooh.
Like a bimbo.
Like a bimbo?
Yeah.
Every time I fall or do something clumsy now, I'm just going to be like, ugh, I'm such a bimbo. So she falls into a roadkill pit and sees a human hand in it. Then a roadkill truck comes off to drop off the roadkill. And everyone else has showed up at this point. And she's like, the fuck is that? And he goes up to the hand. He just pulls it off and it's a mannequin hand.
Where did that mannequin come from, do you think?
It doesn't matter. So Jared's... What?
The town. The spooky wax town.
They're not mannequins, Teresa. They're humans in wax.
Oh. Maybe, yeah, but maybe it's like the early renditions.
Maybe. So Jared...
Before they put humans in it. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's okay. Jared's fan belt is busted. And then Roadkill Man offers him a ride. Would you get into Roadkill Man's truck?
No. But he seems like a nice guy.
He doesn't seem like the worst. He's not... To me, he has a very similar vibe as the hitchhiker in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I felt like it was supposed to be almost like an homage to him.
I think so, but instead, he has the car this time. The power is in his hands. Oh, for some reason, oh yeah, also her shirt got dirty and her brother Magic Mike strips his wife beater off and gives it to her to put on, and she's wearing that wife beater the rest of the movie, but I've heard other people point this out before where those two do not act like they are siblings.
No, they don't.
It's like, okay.
Let alone twin siblings.
For sure. Oh, and so Jared, Carly, and Roadkill Man are in the truck, and for some reason, Jared makes her sit in the middle of them. That's a dick move, my man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, especially because she's like freaked out, and like the Roadkill Man's looking at her all pervy, and then he's like, check out my knife. I like knives. And then, if you too are a fan of knives, this movie is for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of knives in this movie.
Some of them are actually pretty cool, but...
Oh, the one that's the dragon one?
Yeah! Cool. So the other teens, questionable teens, are stuck in traffic trying to get to the football sports event, and they decide to turn around. And if you've ever tried to turn around in traffic, that's like harder than staying in traffic.
Yeah. I guess they were like the next exit they would get off.
I guess so. I don't even know how they found that spot again. But again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
No. It's a lot of suspension of disbelief in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, the whole concept.
Oh, we'll get into that and how I'm like, do I have to research wax's preservation properties? Do I have to do research on wax? And then I was like, nah, that's not what this podcast is about. We're stupid on purpose.
Yeah.
So the Roadkill Man takes them to this town that's hard to get to, and they go in and they're walking around, and man, they tricked me. They tricked me hard. I was like, wow, this pet store has live puppies. They don't. They're animatronic.
That's not real puppies. It was really sick, though, when they showed how it worked later. I was like, wait, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, one of them must have been a fucking engineer or something.
Dude.
Yeah, well...
the whole city is wild. I would like to go there. Like, if they ever, made a, what is it? Like a haunted house or...
Oh, yeah.
An amusement park of that, I'd be there. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's really cool looking, and I'm, it was very, very stimming for me to see a lot of, the melted wax stuff, because, again, in the opening, I was one of those kids who would, stick my fingers in hot wax and, pull it off because, ooh, it feels so good.
Mm-hmm, it does.
Do you ever watch those candle carving videos?
Oh, yes.
That's the good shit.
Oh, I love always when they would just dip it and then dip the other layer. It's so nice.
Tasty. And then you want to eat it because it looks like candy, but you can't.
You can't.
You can't do it. And oh, and I thought the dogs were real until the very end because Vincent has a real ass dog, and I'm like, yeah, why would they need to make wax animals? The animals aren't gonna snitch on them. Just have real animals in this town.
I mean, I'm glad they're not real. It'd be sad.
No, they're just hanging out. Okay. So they go to a church and they walk in, and it's pretty funny where it's a funeral and they just are like, oh, this is awkward. And they just fucking step out. And this is where we meet Bo.
Yeah. I fucking knew who it was from the very beginning.
Oh, you knew he was the one that was duct taped to the chair?
Yeah, of course he was going to be the cool, calm, collected one.
No, because they make you think that, the one in the creepy wax mask is the one that was fucked up and had to be restrained.
no shit. Like, no shit that's what they wanted you to think. But I was like, okay, it's gonna be this guy who's calm, cool, and collected.
Well, someone clearly has the brain cell today because it took. I thought it was a cool twist. I thought it was fun.
Thought it was
Oh, and Bo in this navy blue funeral suit getup, and his like slicked back hair. I thought he looks like John Travolta.
Yeah, he kind of does. You're right.
Do you want to share the fun fact you learned about the special effects guy in this movie?
Oh, yeah. He did the special effects in Face Off. Speaking of John Travolta, I get your transition now.
Dude, I take it back. The brain cell is lost, and neither of us have it. If you find it, please send it to 666 Fuck House Drive. All right. Oh, and now we cut to one of the really cool wax carving shots in the wax basement where he's making boobs, and they look great.
Yeah, the beautiful boobs. I thought you said food for a second, and I was like, is he cooking?
There is wax food, but
I love it. Okay, not to go on this tangent, but I love it when he's picking up the wax food, like Jared Padalecki. He's like, wow, this looks so real. And it's like a neon orange fucking carrot. And I'm just like, yep, looks real.
yeah, and then he starts burning it with his lighter because it's kind of established he's a bit of a dick.
I was like, dude, that's someone's art. Like,
yeah, well, he was doing it earlier with like a really cool carving later, and that was real fucked up.
yeah, I was like, a tortured artist created that.
Yeah, Teresa made that in her own wax basement. So Bo, aka John Travolta, he's not actually John Travolta. I believe his actor is Brian Van Holt. I don't know him though. I don't know most actors except for John Travolta. And so he actually did say, oh, I run the local gas station and I'll help you out in like half an hour. So to kill time, they're looking around the House of Wax, almost called a wax museum. And this is where we're introduced to one of the big question marks of the movie. The house is made of wax.
Yeah.
The building is made of wax.
Yeah.
In the South, and there is fire constantly burning in the basement.
I mean, you gotta suspend your disbelief. It leads to a cool scene at the end. I think it's worth it.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. Oh yeah. So, and then they see these really cool tiny wax statues that I would actually love because some of them they're like sea creatures and like weird mermaids. I wanted one, and they all have Vincent carved at the bottom. I have him as Vinny in my notes sometimes just because it was easier to type.
Do you think they named him Vincent because of Vincent van Gogh?
No, Vincent Price, dumbass.
Oh. Okay.
Teresa, some of these days. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a dumbass, but...
No, it was perfect. I deserved it.
You know, my parents almost, when they were going over boy names for me, one of them, they were considering Vincent, but because I'm Italian, they knew everyone would be like, hey, it's little Vinny! Little Vinny, what you doing over there? Like, my whole life. So, Vincent was quickly taken off the thing. But they considered it.
I like the name Vinny. I don't know why you wouldn't want affectionate Italians calling you little Vinny all the time.
I don't know. I think my parents are like, we don't want to create a murderer.
Yeah, you'd be like, what, with a name like that, you'd be like the hitman for the mob.
Family was in the mob, but we just did the books. We weren't the muscle. Okay, so Carly, she sees Tommy Wiseau in the mirror, and I would also be scared.
Yeah, that was kind of, I have to say, actually, there were some spooks that got me in this.
That got you?
Yeah, like, Like that one. There was a few jump scares as well. I was like, wow. I usually don't get jump scared, but the House of Wax did it.
They got you, gal. So basically, the two main villains of this movie are John Travolta and Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. But, you know, I was thinking while watching when he first showed up, I was like, oh, we have another star lookalike. But then he's got a weird disfigured face, and I was like, I don't know if I should make that joke, but. You know, the greasy, long brown hair.
Oh! When you said star, I dissociated and thought you meant like a celebrity. I was like, yeah, Tommy Wiseau is a celebrity, and he does not have brown hair. He has black hair because he is Tommy Wiseau. Oh man, every movie we're gonna choose like what's the most disgusting heathenistic character and be like, oh, that's Star. Yeah.
No, it was just because of the parallel between you and Michael, and then now, the hair, okay.
I would rather be Michael because at least he was strong and a pro wrestler.
You should post that picture on our social medias that you took of yourself looking like him, please.
Okay. I put on my gray bathrobe just to take it. Alright, so she's freaked out, and Jared, for some reason, makes Carly wait inside of the wax museum instead of going out with her, and this is, I just have to know, let her go with you, dum-dum. And then
yeah,
Jared...
I was like, why are you leaving her there? That's even, like, this place is sus, like...
And then they don't find anything, and then they just leave anyway. Alright, so they go to Bo, they go to the garage, she doesn't have the 15 fan belt they need, so they go to Bo's house, and Jared needs to go potty, so he goes in, and our girl Carly waits in the car, and Jared fucking goes snooping. He goes snooping.
I wrote that he's a nosy Nancy. He's like, he barges into unlocked doors, he goes into the gas station without the dude there. He snoops around the dude's house.
To be fair, I was yelling at the movie for him to just go in and take the fan belt anyway, so... In his defense, I too would steal.
He should have just taken the longer belt. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know enough about cars. You know what? Just cut that extra inch off, my man.
Can't be that complicated.
Do you think he would have gotten killed if he hadn't snooped around? Like, do you think they were going to kill him, like, the second he went into that house? Or do you think they killed him because he was snooping?
I think they would have killed him no matter what. I feel like that's why he took them to the house, you know?
Yeah. Also, the architecture of this town is really cool. It's very... I honestly don't know how to describe it. It's, like, cool and, like, blocky and very 70s.
Yeah, it's like kind of like I said like old Hollywood. It's very like California-esque.
Yeah.
Especially like the House of Wax itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very cool because everything seems like a set, which it kind of is because everything is staged.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he's snooping and the power comes out. Little Vinny comes out of the basement and, hello, Hostel, how you doing? Snips his tendon. Shout out.
Yeah, they really fucking like attacking the feet in this movie.
Shout out, Hostel. You know who handles the tendons attack like a boss later?
Paris?
Yeah, she doesn't fucking Jared looks like he looks like later, like he's surrounded by melting wax. He's like slipping and sliding and fumbling and knocking everything over.
Paris is unfazed.
Some may say it's bad acting, but...
Well, also, he stabs a different part of her foot, you know.
He
goes for the heel.
It's a little higher up. Women have higher pain tolerances normally.
Yes, this is true.
Also, Paris can feel no pain because she is an immortal, as we all know.
I hope so.
So after that, Bo comes out, and Carly has noticed that the headlight of the truck is busted out, like the one they busted, and so she knows Bo is a bad guy, and she locks herself inside the car. Bo busts in a window, and Carly does a really awesome job of escaping by turning the truck on and like pressing the not the power. I know what cars are. I've seen one. Pushes the pedal down and escapes, but immediately crashes the truck, unfortunately. But then runs, and you know what? She's pretty good. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah. She's a pretty good final girl. She puts in a lot of work.
She do put in the work. I think she's just like so beautiful. Like the whole time I'm looking at her and I'm like, you're so beautiful. You were like made in a lab. Even later when like she has like blood coming from her mouth, I'm like, you're so beautiful.
I said like, oh, they just did that to give her like red lips.
Oh, I think it's just like my dumb lesbian brain where it's like, but she's beautiful. Oh, and so then it cuts to the guys talking about Wade because, you know, Nick was being a bit of a butthole to him, and they're talking about like, yeah, Wade's not so bad, and then Wade is Jared, by the way, and then it hard cuts to Wade being dragged through a basement.
Poetic cinema.
There's a lot of poetic cinema in this masterpiece.
Yeah.
So Jared also got stabbed in like the shoulder. So Vincent is stitching up the wounds that he inflicted, and then he waxes off his facial hair.
Yeah, at that moment I was like, man, that kind of seems nice. Like he's putting like a wax facial on his face and then hot towel, and then I realized he was ripping off his hair, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. This scene's pretty cool. Jared gets he gets his clothes cut off, he's naked, and then this is one of it's very cool, and it's like, I love cinematography where he's getting covered in wax. I was thinking about this. What are the properties of wax? What does wax do? I'm like, can't you just fucking, cause like, wax, we use wax paper so shit doesn't stick. I don't think wax sticks to you like that.
Yeah, I think, like, you could break out of that pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, he was drugged up so he couldn't move, but it's not like later where you get another really cool visual of taking the wax off and it takes the skin off. Like, I don't think it would do that. I literally thought to myself, it's like, how much wax would I need to keep me restrained? And I'm like, literally, like, you would have to put me into like a Han Solo cube of wax. And I think that's the only way. But then you would be dead from suffocating because you're drowned in wax.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you would, if anything, you'd suffocate to death. But, again, you'd have to not be able to move.
Yeah. It shows clearly that he's alive, because, again, that cool shot where, like, he's a wax statue and his eyes move. Mm-hmm. But, like, they don't show him making nose holes or, like, his mouth is closed. Okay, brain, you know what? We are not here to be smart. We are here to tell you about this piece of cinema.
We are here to tell you our opinions about this piece of cinema, and they're not very good opinions, so...
No, because they're mostly about Paris Hilton.
Well-educated opinions. There we go.
They're not good. They're not well-educated. You're ugly. You're stupid. I'm gonna murder you. Give me $200.
You're beautiful. You're a model. You're Lucia Evangelista.
She could come out in a diaper and be like, Valentina, your smile is beautiful. Alright. Oh, so Bo, so Bo has Carly. They're in the basement of the auto shop, and he has restrained her to some kind of medical chair, much like the kid was restrained to the high chair earlier. And it was this the point where you knew Bo was the one restrained to the high chair?
Or no, had you been? I knew the minute that they showed him.
Oh, you had been known. All right, great. Oh, you know how I like to freeze frame and look at what pieces of clothes say? Do you want to know what Bo's hat says?
What?
Sweet Bird 69.
Nice.
I have a question. So, because now Daryl and Nick, not Daryl, Dalton and Nick have shown up and they're looking for Carly and Wade, and to keep her from screaming, I thought he was just going to put the duct tape that he used to restrain over her mouth. Instead, he, I guess, super glues her mouth shut. Would this work?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Have you ever super glued your fingers together?
I don't trust myself around super glue, so...
Yeah, I really feel like this would not work. Like, you could move your mouth pretty, like, the glue takes quite a while to dry, and, like, I don't know.
Yeah, again, it's just a means to an end. It's just so we can have that cool scene later where she's, like, ripping her lips open and, like, her mouth's all bloody. Again, it's like, yeah, that looks really cool, but it's also like... to what ends? To what ends? It's fine.
Yeah.
I used to cover my hands in rubber cement and then spend hours peeling the rubber cement off. I should do that again.
Are you okay?
Me? No, but thank you so much for asking. Okay. Oh, yeah. So she breaks free because, you know what? Again, like we said, Carly is a good main girl, and she's beautiful. And she never doesn't look bad in this whole movie. She always looks flawless. Even when her mouth is covered in blood and she's wearing her brother's dirty wife beater, I'm like, you look like a model, sis. And you know what? I love that for her. So she...
Yeah.
busts out, and there's a grate that leads to the above ground where Bo is talking to her brother, and she's trying to get her brother's attention, so she sticks her finger through the grate, and I can't decide if this is stupid or great. I'm not sure yet. And so Bo sees it and, like, leans down to allegedly tie his shoes, but then whips out, like, a wire cutter and, again, very hostile, cuts the tip of her finger off.
Dude, I love that. I was like, oh, no.
You felt it? It was very visceral for you?
It was pretty visceral. Up until she pulled away and I was, like, squirting comedically, I was like, damn, ow.
I don't know. For some reason, my brain was so set on he's going to stomp on the finger and break the bone in it.
Oh my god. So true. Oh, that would have been so much better. You're right.
I mean, because that's where my brain was. And I was like, oh, he's going to... Oh, because just the idea of getting your finger stomped... That, because I feel like I can relate to that more because I've had shit like that happen. I've never had a finger cut off. I imagine it would suck, but that's not where my mind was, so it just kind of, like, caught me offhand, and now I had to be like, huh, okay, yeah, so I guess we're doing that. And then
I guess the stomp would be too obvious, though.
He could be like, damn, cockroaches. You know how it is. We've all been there. I don't know. Nothing makes sense. But then you get that cool scene of her, like, ripping her lips open, and she screams, and then Nick and Bo get into a fight. And they fend off Bo. Oh, and then we cut to Dalton, who has entered the House of Wax, the titular House of Wax, and he sees Jared Padalecki.
As a beautiful sculpture, playing the piano.
Yeah, which he was doing earlier, so I guess Vincent was watching the whole time. I'm sorry, Tommy Wiseau. Let me call him by his formal name. And Jared's eyes are moving, and Daryl. What? No, Dalton. My bad. What does Dalton do, Teresa? Walk me through this.
He peels. Alright, he goes up, he's like, oh man, I'm gonna help you, and then he starts peeling off the wax, but I guess because the wax burnt his skin, it's just peeling off all his skin. Yeah.
And then, but the thing is, once you do it the first time, you would probably stop peeling it, right?
Yeah, that's fair. He keeps doing it. He's like, I'm gonna get you out of here, man. Don't worry.
And then, like, he, like, accidentally rips, like, a big chunk, and I mean, again, it's a cool shot. You get to see, like, his jaw muscles and his teeth, but it's also, like, to what end?
And then I love, like, how it's, like, it is a really cool, like, a lot of this, it's, like, it's cool visually, which is kind of the reason why I love it so much. Mm-hmm. Like, how his eyes are, like, moving and everything. I wonder if it's an animatronic.
I don't know. Or practical effects, maybe.
But perhaps.
Also, but it's, like, when you see Jared, again, like, we don't have to dwell on this too hard because so much of this movie doesn't make sense and it doesn't matter. But, but like when he's originally covered in wax and then Dalton also gets covered in wax later, it's like layers and layers of this like thick cheesy wax, and I guess just Tommy Wiseau has to shave it all down so it's the thinnest layer of wax. Then wouldn't that make it even easier to bust out?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I had to say it. I had to say it. Because that's what I'm thinking. But it, again, doesn't matter.
You're right.
I have to collect myself. Oh, and then Dalton is attacked by Vincent, who has these two cool giant-ass knives and decapitates him.
Yeah. Oh, and then his head blinking on the floor. I fucking died laughing. It was so bad.
Yeah. Again, you're not here for facts. You're not here for information. But I'm like, what had happened? I don't know. They say chickens run around for a few minutes after you cut their heads off. So.
What is it? They say that about the human brain as well, that you're still alive after, like, for a few seconds after you chop the head off, too.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. I don't know how accurate it is. Again, this is not a facts and logic podcast.
So, I was doing speech to text notes for most of this movie, and this is what I'm talking about, like, wax facts. It says, but it's wood rot and sidewalks. I don't think it's a preservative. So what I think I was saying is that wouldn't the bodies rot under the wax?
Now, there was a case where they found a preserved body in a river.
Is this a bog body?
Yeah, bog bodies. Thank you.
Or are you talking about Soap Lady?
Oh.
We have Soap Lady in the Mutter Museum here in Philly. I have a little soap statue of her. But she doesn't look like a person. She looks like a ghoul made out of soap.
Well, aren't bog bodies... I guess it's salt is the water.
It's the peat, I believe. But again, I don't know what peat is.
Is it the soap?
Maybe.
Never mind. I thought it was maybe like they get covered in this waxy substance. Again, we're not intelligent here.
You're not here for facts. You're here for mindless ramblings. So
you're here for us to spread misinformation about bog bodies.
Oh. Alright. So, at this point, they've realized this Wikipedia is dog shit. It completely skips the fact that Bo, for some reason, Bo and or Vincent, it's Vincent, never mind. They go back to the campsite, because I just have the note, like, Paris and Blake should be spared. Like, there's no reason for them to go back to the campsite and kill them.
Yeah. I guess it's just to up the body count.
I mean, from what I've heard, a big marketing thing for this movie was, come see this movie so you can see Paris Hilton die.
Yeah, there was a lot of hatred towards Paris Hilton. She won the Raspberry Award. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, the Razzies.
Yeah, the Razzies. Yeah, the parody award show. And she won Worst Supporting Actress. And I was like, she wasn't that bad.
I didn't think she was bad at all. I think she was fine.
She wasn't even in it that much.
No, she was barely in it, and then most of it is her doing a striptease.
Hell yeah. Mad respect, man.
She looked great. She wore a matching bra and panty set camping.
Yeah, she coordinated that baby blue velour jumpsuit with a bright red underwear. Fantastic. She knows her colors.
Paris Hilton is a true patriot, is what you're saying. So
I would say she knows color theory, but
that's okay. The music cuts off. Paris and Blake are gonna have sexy times. Music cuts out. Blake goes out. Blake takes too long to get back, so
he can't fuck without his music.
I understand.
Also,
what?
She tries to break the baby news to him.
Oh my! What was this about?
She doesn't get the chance.
I don't know. Yeah. And he's like, nah. He's like, she's like, baby, I have something really serious to tell you. He's like, nah. Who the fuck turned my music off? And honestly, I get it. That's why I pay for Spotify Premium. No one fucks with my music. Paris puts like this big sweater on over her undies and is gonna like go to sleep because Blake's taking too long. And then all of a sudden, without making a single sound, Vincent has busted into the tent. I guess not busted. He's snuck into the tent. And Paris runs out, and poor Blake is already dead. Doesn't even get an on. Well, I guess he was still alive. Blake has one of those big-ass knives in his neck. And then when Vincent goes out, he steps into it, driving it in. And I guess that's what kills him. So I guess he technically does have an on-screen death. R.I.P. Blake, we barely knew ye.
Yeah. You didn't get to see him fend for his life, you know?
Yeah, but now we do get to see Paris running in a bra. And a warehouse appears out of nowhere.
You're right, just so they could get that weird knife stabbing scene.
Not even a knife. Oh, I mean... She's only running for like a few feet, and then all of a sudden she's in a warehouse filled with cars. The whole onus of this is that their car was broken, so they'd have to go into town to get a fan belt. They would just go into the warehouse filled with cars and steal a fan belt. Listen, House of Wax, I know everything you do is just to get cool shots. You can't. You can get Paris Hilton stabbed through the head with a pipe some other way.
I don't know, they could have brought her... I thought... Because he knocks her out, right?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think he takes her to the warehouse.
No, she runs into the warehouse.
Wow.
Oh, and then, yeah, my notes, I'm just very bad. I'm like, cut this out of your 2-hour movie. This movie could have been cut short if all they did was just go into the warehouse to look for the fan belt and just got killed in a warehouse. But this isn't called Warehouse of Lost Cars. This is called House of Wax, motherfuckers.
That will be a different movie. We need to have the Town of Wax.
This should be called Town of Wax, but that doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I mean, there is like the sign in the later in the movie.
Yeah, because Trudy Sinclair, the twins' mom, was originally started the House of Wax, and then it implies that her next project was a Town of Wax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we don't know this yet. The movie has not brought us into this quite yet. Yeah, so Paris has also gotten cut with on like the ankle by Vincent, but unlike Jared, she fucking keeps trucking, and she's sneaking. She's going. She's got a pretty dope weapon of a sharp rusted pipe, which I thought was cool. And she's hiding in a car, and this time Vincent does actually bust in, and she hits him in the head with it, fucking up. Vincent's wearing a wax mask that looks like Tommy Wiseau, by the way. And unfortunately, Paris, for all her strength and bravery, drops the pipe, and she's hiding, and then Vincent picks up the pipe and fucking javelin throws this thing through 2 car windows and hits her in the fucking head with it.
Yep. And we get a beautiful scene of Paris Hilton with a pipe through her head, and he films it with the camera from earlier.
Very Rob Zombie.
Very Rob Zombie.
And he does like a similar thing to Blake, where like he steps on the head to drive it in further, then pulls it out, I think.
Yeah.
So now that our body count's up a little higher, we go back to Nick and Carly, the twins. Nick, by the way, has had a little trouble with the law, and he calls himself the bad twin and Carly's the good twin. That will kind of come in. And they find a store that's apparently a gun store, but they just take a crossbow. But the crossbow does prove to be more effective than I thought it was gonna be.
No, dude, bow hunting is like a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's considered like more fair.
I
in the
guess.
hunting world.
It doesn't keep Bo down for long, though. So they have, this is like another iconic scene where Carly sits, they go into a movie theater that's playing what, I almost did the Drag Race parody title, What Happened to Baby Jane? But no, it's the original Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is playing. And, Miss Betty Davis is going, I've written a letter to Daddy. Do you want to sing? Do you want to take a verse?
No, I want to spare the viewers from my voice.
Aww. What could be worse than Should I cut that out? Do you think that would hurt people's ears too much?
I think you should keep it, at least part of it, and be like, should I cut that out?
Alright, and Bo's...
It's your beautiful voice.
And Bo has a shotgun, and he's going through the crowd, and Carly's pretending to be a wax figure, enjoying the talents of Miss Betty Davis. And he doesn't see her at first, and then all of a sudden he does spot her. And at this point, they've realized that everyone is not just wax, they're people covered in wax. And so he shoots at her, but she ducks and ends up blowing up this poor goth girl. And we get to see, like, her brain meat.
Yeah. Lots of brain meat flying.
Mm-hmm. And then Nick pops up and gets our man Beau with the crossbow.
Shoots him twice. One in the arm, one in the shoulder.
Yeah. Have you ever played a Metal Gear game?
No.
When I played Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, which in my opinion is the best of the games, at one point I had a bunch of arrows sticking out of me, and for some reason the game wasn't getting rid of them. So I just have the thing, it's like, arrows sticking your body and checking, because they take his gun and they check his body for ammo, but have none, and I'm like, what is this? A snake eater? Anyone? Huh? Alright.
You're lost on me.
Alright. Oh, but then for some reason, just because they can't find ammo, they throw the shotgun away. Dude, you can use that shotgun to hit people with. It's large.
That's a good point. Just use, like, the handle part of it and just thunk people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But for some reason, she, like, throws it away. People do not like holding onto weapons in horror movies. I don't know. Oh, and so Vincent pulls back up in his truck, and apparently he had brought his dog with him for murders. Or at least his dog was chilling in the shotgun while he was killing.
God bless.
They have a cute dog.
It is a cute dog. Oh, we didn't mention the scene where he goes up to the dog, where Jared Padalecki goes up to the dog thinking it's made of wax, and then there's the jump scare of the dog attacking him.
That was so funny. I love that. I like that dog.
I don't know. I wrote down in my notes that dog was a fantastic actor for standing so perfectly still for so long.
Yeah, he did a good job. Snaps for the dog. Oh, so now they're back in Beau's house, and we see earlier Beau's talked about the mom who did the wax statues and the two kids, and the dad was a doctor who did shady things. And we see this pretty cool picture of conjoined twins where one of the twins' head is fused to the back of the other twins. And this is where we get one of the screenshots, which is a mom that kind of reminds me of Sherry Moon Zombie in Halloween, smoking a cigarette with two sons. And I guess at first I thought it was like a weird choice, but I guess one of the sons has kind of like a skin-colored wax mask covering half of his face with like a black hole where the eye should be.
Dude, I thought that it was like they drew on it with Sharpie like over his eye.
I thought so too. I was like, is this the design for our big bad? Is it just he has like a black Sharpie hole over one of his eyes? But
I mean, if his dad is an experimental surgeon, then why didn't he perform experimental plastic surgery on that son?
Maybe he was dead by that point. Or maybe he did, because we do get to see the son's face later, and it's pretty good. It's pretty fucked.
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh, you didn't like it? I was kind of into it.
I don't know. That's not how that would heal.
Teresa's a doctor, everyone. We didn't mention it before. Teresa has a PhD. I'm sorry we didn't tell you guys sooner.
I know. I have a PhD in art school.
We sure do. Oh, and she's hiding under a pool table because Beau comes back, because it is his house that she is hiding in. Yeah. And she's hiding under a pool table, and I have the note, like, Chekhov's pool cue. I'm like, oh man, someone's getting beat up with that pool cue. No, no one gets beat up with the pool cue, and I'm kind of sad.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. But then they...
I don't think the pool cue would be very effective as a weapon, though.
I don't know. I just want to see someone get... It's like the dumb wrestling fan side of me is like... If you show me something, like, long and wooden, I'm like, oh, well, that's gonna get fucking snapped over someone's back. Like...
Break it over his head.
Do it! Yeah! Yeah. Oh, and then at this point, it's kind of, like, revealed how the town is a bunch of animatronics and tape recordings to make it seem like it's real. And this is when I learned that the puppies were animatronic, and I got a little sad. I thought it was, like, their dog's puppies, that they were just kind of, like, chilling. But, like you said, it's probably better that they're animatronic.
Yeah, I thought that was, like, pretty cool, though. Like, how it shows the air blowing the tail upwards. Like, damn, you fooled me.
Wait, it was air? I thought it was, like, kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic.
I don't know. I thought it was air.
It doesn't matter.
I thought it was like an AC fan.
Doesn't matter. Okay. So now Nick and Carly are in the basement. I work at an art studio. We have a basement kiln room. It kind of looks like this. Yeah, like with like unfinished walls and floors and just exposed beams and asbestos again. I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. I feel this.
Yeah, especially the asbestos.
I can like see like parts of insulation in the walls, I think is what it's called, and I'm like, will this poison me? Only time will tell. And they're messing around with these light switches, and I don't really remember why, but it's cool because it shows
they couldn't see.
Oh yeah, there you go. Despite the fact that there's candles everywhere, but it doesn't matter. But it's really cool because they're showing how they're turning the whole town off and on just with these switches in these brothers' basements. But now the brothers know where they are because the brothers know where the controls are.
Here's a big question mark.
Yeah.
One, how are they getting electricity?
A generator. That's that big, loud, noisy thing. And generators are run by gasoline.
Oh, I was like, how did they fucking get the money to pay the electricity bill?
It's more how do they get the money? I guess because they have that whole garage of stolen cars, they probably siphon the gasoline out of the cars and use it to power the generator. But I think we're thinking about this more than this movie ever did. But that's that big, loud, noisy thing they walk past in the basement. Question number 2, please, for the panel.
What?
What was your second question? You said you had multiple question marks?
Oh, no, I just meant that's another... No, the multiple question marks was multiple. Just like the amount of question marks of this movie. I just had one question.
Okay. Oh, and then it's in this basement that they see Dalton covered in wax. And if you remember, Dalton was previously decapitated. So Nick tries to get Dalton out of the wax thing. His head just comes off. And the fucking look of resignation on Nick's face.
You know, it's so funny because it's like, if it's so easy for him to pop that head off again, you can break out of the wax.
I didn't even think of it like that. You're so right. Oh my gosh. I was too torn up by like how when he pops the head up, he just has this look of, I am so done with this fucking shit. He just looks so done.
I don't blame him, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, and because at this point, this is like the sweetest Nick has sounded. This is when I was like, oh, Nick and Dalton were dating.
Oh, fair. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I definitely think Nick is gay. And plus he, like, covered for Dalton, like, stealing the car. You don't do that for anybody.
No, they fucking. I know it. I sense it. I smell it.
You smell it.
And
you
so
smell what they're shitting.
It's now that, again, you have all the brain cells, you have a PhD, you knew that Beau was the one that had to be restrained, and I'm like, wow,
yes,
incredible. And now, so Beau did not get killed by the by the crossbow, that's the weapon, crossbow arrows, and has ripped them out, and it shows him, like, him and Vinny fighting. And then now we're getting to the big finale where I have meet me at the House of Wax to get these hands.
Do you know, wait, I have a question.
Do I know what?
Do you know, like, what starts the fire? Because I was so confused by that. I was like, is the wax setting on fire?
Yeah. So when they're fighting in the basement of, I guess their house has, like, an underground tunnel that connects to the House of Wax. And in it, Vincent has, like, this big vat of melted wax over a gigantic, large flame. There's also lit candles literally everywhere. And so Nick turns up the heat, literally, makes the flame bigger, and then dumps the wax over, which in turn dumps the flames over.
Yeah. Is wax flammable?
No, that's why we make candles out of them.
So how does the wax set on fire?
I don't know, Teresa. You have the PhD.
You're right. I'm overthinking this. It's to get to the fact that the cool House of Wax melts on top of them.
Yeah, it's... You gotta meet at the House of Wax to get these hands. And to also get... Okay, here's the thing. Also, they get covered in wax later, and they move just fine. God, it doesn't matter. Oh, Carly is... So, it starts with, like, Nick and Beau are doing, like, pretty cool hand-to-hand fighting beat-em-ups, and then Carly comes up, Homestar Runner, with a baseball bat and beats Beau to death.
Yeah, I thought that was super brutal.
It was fucking awesome.
I was like, wait, okay, you need to chill. You're, like, beating this guy's, like... You're killing this brother in front of him. Like, I guess they were trying to kill both of them, but I don't know. It's very brutal.
Yeah, and then, like, the floor melts where Beau lands and he falls into the fiery basement.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Vinny's there, and Nick wants him to fight him and tells Carly to run. They're in, like, the lobby of House of Wax, and instead of... It's literally just like Halloween. Instead of running out the door, she runs upstairs in this melting House of Wax.
Yeah, it's so true.
And she goes into this bedroom with a baby carriage... Not baby carriage. What do babies sleep in? Cribs. Cribs.
Yeah.
Welcome to MTV Cribs.
Welcome to MTV Cribs. Here's my house made entirely out of wax with my creepy sculpture of myself and my brother as conjoined twins.
That would be awesome. That would be the best episode of MTV Cribs.
Ah, dude. And it would be so, like, of the era, too. Like, why didn't they do a Cribs episode featuring House of Wax? To promote the movie.
Maybe that's what House of Wax 2 is about.
Is there a House of Wax 2?
I don't know, maybe. Okay, so she's up there, and I hope you like symbolism and cinematography, because in the crib, like you said, there's the wax thing of the twins with the head on the other one, and she pushes the wax crib in front of the wax door, and everything is melting as if that'll do something. And Vincent has this knife and he slices through the door, separating the twins, and it's like, yeah, I get it.
It's so blatant. It's so funny. This movie is so funny.
It's like, so heavy-handed. It's so heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And then it's like he rips. It's like in The Shining where Jack busts into the bathroom with the axe, but instead it's a knife through wax, and he just pulls it open. It's like, here's Vinny.
Referencing better horror movies.
Oh, always. And they're fighting. I don't even remember the exact. Oh wait. Oh, Carly does like again the thing with that Laurie did to Michael and Robert Zombert's Halloween, where she's like trying to sympathize with him and to get him not to kill him. And then Nick quotes Predator, again, a far superior movie, where he goes, do it now. And then she grabs Nick's leg knife from way earlier when they were in the movie theater and stabs Vinny.
Yep. And then he falls on top of his brother, and we get another very powerful symbolic moment.
Yeah, with his head on the back of his head again, and it's like, the movie's like, you get it? You get it? Oh, I'm looking at the
conjoined.
I'm looking at the screenshots and the knife. I really thought I was slick with this note. It just says, the symbolism is so thick, you can cut it with a knife. Get it? Anyone? Huh?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and so the whole place is melting down, and our two protagonist twins skip at, I'm like, oh, is this like, they like bust a hole through the A in the House of Wax sign, and the two of them crawl out it together, and I'm like, just like they did with their mom's vagina.
Wow.
Get it? Get it? Because they're twins?
Wow. You see, what I was thinking when this was happening was, damn, that CGI is god-awful, but...
You take what the early 2000s gives you. They've given you the best they can. So it's like a hard cut. The place is burned down and the cops have shown up. They're like, we never would have found this place if it wasn't for all this fucking smoke. And it's like, really? Not because a fuck ton of people were apparently disappear. It doesn't matter. Okay, they see Dalton's video camera, they take the video camera, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, they didn't have 2 sons. They had 3! Bum, bum, bum. And then they're driving, Nick and Carly are driving away in the ambulance, and they see Roadkill guy from earlier, who is wearing the highest waisted pants I've ever seen, and I went to art school, so...
And he, like, waves to them and everything, just to make it more obvious.
And he's literally sitting right outside of the crime scene with the dog eating roadkill, and it's like, why aren't the cops questioning him? The cops are gonna the cops are gonna be like, hey, these guys had a third brother. That you? Alright, book him. The dog was probably in on it too. Book the dog too, man. Yeah, so that's the big dramatic ending. And then, Teresa, what song do we hard cut to for the end credits?
Hold on.
It's Helena by My Chemical Romance.
Thank you.
Burn it all. You are a fake fan. Just like the one you bring it. If I sing it bad enough, we can't get flagged for copyright.
I don't know, we might.
Dude, you literally put the screenshot of the soundtrack in our notes.
Yes, I'm aware.
Teresa's a PhD.
It's a fire soundtrack. I was more obsessed with the fact, not to mention, but during the scene where she's like, where Carly is like being tied up, he's blaring Marilyn Manson. Which I was dying, because at first I was like, I guess that's the background music we're gonna choose for this, okay. But no, he's just genuinely blaring Marilyn Manson.
What's it called when things are like being played in the thing? It's like diegetic music.
I guess. I don't know.
The soundtrack is lit though.
Dude.
But also fuck
Joy
Marilyn
Division.
Manson as a person. He's a piece of shit.
Is he? I don't know the tea with that.
Everyone is. Every old white man who sang edgy music, Marilyn Manson, Morrissey, they're all fucking pieces of shit. But it's like how pretty much every artist you like from like the early 19th century had a fucking child bride. It's like everyone's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring us down. Let's talk about My Chemical Romance. Just like the one you yeah. Again, the worse I sing it, the less we can get flagged for it.
I don't know.
What?
It's not like our two listeners will flag
Who's
us.
Who's gonna tell? My Chemical
It's like,
Romance, excuse me, this podcast blatantly ripped off our song.
Can you please take them down? Everyone, they're making so much money off of this.
Okay, so Miss Teresa, I have a very important question for you.
Yes.
How many brain cells would you give this movie?
Well, as a Paris Hilton fan, I give
You
this
didn't give us
movie...
as many Paris Hilton facts. I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna... We can do a Paris Hilton corner later.
Would you like me to do our Paris Hilton corner now?
No, give us your brain cells. Give them to me.
I give it like 5 brain cells, I think. I really enjoyed it, even though it was blatantly awful.
Okay. 5 is... for you telling me that you loved this movie, 5 feels a little low, but I guess...
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not very generous with my brain cells.
No, you're not. You're not. But you know what? I like and appreciate that about you. Well, now I feel stupid. Well, now I'm like, I didn't like this as much as you did, but I also thought this movie was going to be so much worse. Like, I did not want to watch it. And watching, I'm like, this isn't that bad. So, you know what?
No.
5.5. Boom.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like solid 5.5. Like, I think it's a lot of it's stupid, but it's a lot of fun, and it's got a lot of cool visuals.
Yeah, if you're someone who really will go on Instagram and loves seeing wax carving and wax melting videos, this is the shit. This is the shit, my guys.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of fun to see it's a time capsule of the early 2000s. So
It's a period piece for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure the answer is obvious, but would you recommend this movie, T-Bone?
Actually, yeah, I would. I feel like it would be a good laugh with friends.
Yeah, I would recommend don't watch this alone like I did. I feel like this is a better movie to watch with friends, like you said.
Shut up! Yeah, I agree.
What's he saying?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
So, do you want to give us some Paris Hilton?
No,
facts?
stop!
Teresa!
I'm recording. You want your bongs?
Kind of.
Wait, are we getting some? Can we get some bong? Can we get some bong ASMR?
Bong ASMR.
Can we get some bong ASMR in here? Is he gone?
I'm sorry. I knew this would happen. I knew he was gonna come home and grab the bongs, and I was gonna have to deal with that.
You keep your bong in the closet.
Yeah, the bongs are kept in the closet.
I feel like this is a good segue. What Paris Hilton facts would you like to share with us, my mans?
Well, Paris Hilton recently dropped a documentary, which I watched live because, of course, I did. Her whole like Paris persona that she's known for is entirely an act. I feel like actually she acts more like herself in this movie than like she does when she's presenting herself in real life.
Yeah, she didn't really like she didn't seem annoying at all to me. She just seems like a person to me. She seemed pretty chill, honestly.
So she, as a child, she was like acting out a lot, and she would like run away and like go to raves. Mad respect.
That just sounds like you.
I wish. But yeah, so her parents basically sent her to a like correctional school, which basically just abused the kids that was like
holy
that
shit.
would go to that school. And
do you know
so
what
like
state,
when she left,
do you know what
she was
state
like,
that
I'm
was
gonna
in?
be wait, what?
Do you know what state that was in?
It was probably somewhere in California, or I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
No, keep going. I was just curious.
Watch the documentary. It's actually kind of fascinating.
I'm sorry I cut you off. So after she left, she did what?
Oh yeah, after she left, she was like, I'm just gonna play this character and just be like the person I wish I was.
Oh.
And like the real Paris is literally just like likes raves, likes EDM, and loves animals. And I'm just like, wow, I love this woman so much.
Again, that's just you. But also, did you ever hear those stories of someone was like, I was driving through Europe and a mysterious blonde woman came up to me and she picked me up on the side of the road and talked to me about how she collects World War II radios. That woman was Paris Hilton. Did you ever hear those?
Yeah, she literally does. Yeah, she does.
It's true?
Yeah, it's true.
I didn't know it was true.
Yeah, they talk about it in the thing, in the documentary.
If only that was a horror movie so we could review it.
Dude, it's kind of crazy. I kind of became obsessed with her because she literally just has my dream life of having, like, 5 dogs, living in a beach house in Malibu, making awful, awful art. Like, God, I wish that were me.
She does have a pretty ideal life.
Yeah, even though she was abused as a child.
That is pretty shitty.
Yeah, it was interesting. I recommend the documentary. I don't know how much. Obviously, she made it, so who knows how much of it is very manufactured for sympathy points. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of hers, so I was eating it up.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. So, on that note, Teresa, would you like to spin the wheel of horror?
Yes.
Yeah,
How are we going to do this?
I have it set up. Don't even worry about it. So what we did to pick out our movie for next week is I recommended some movies and Teresa recommended some movies, and we put it on this wheel, and we're probably going to do this every week from now on. So we're going to leave it up to the fates to decide what movie we're going to watch. All right, ready? Drum roll, please. Or bong rip.
Bong rip.
I wish your roommate was here to do a bong rip to lead us in. Maybe I'll insert one in.
Please.
Okay. Wheel of horror. Oh my god, it's going really fast.
not getting out of here alive. But neither's that thing.
Oh, shit! It's the Thing!
Oh, I'm so excited. I've always wanted to watch this movie.
Oh, you've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
I'm a slut for John Carpenter, and I feel like the whole time you're just gonna see Kurt Russell be like, that's just you, right? And I'm like, yes, Kurt Russell is just me, thank you. I was him as Snake Plissken for Halloween, and I do look up to him as a role model, so.
Okay.
That's why I didn't like, one of the reasons why I didn't like, what was Quentin Tarantino's part of, it was Planet Terror and Quentin's shitty car movie.
Oh, Death Car.
Death Car. Death Car. Coming to theaters. Death Car. If you know, you know. But basically, Kurt Russell's a terrible person who kills women in cars, and I was like, I can't stand this. I know he gets his come up in the end, but we had to cut it off. Like, we didn't even get halfway through. It was just a bad vibe.
It was so bad after watching Planet Terror and being like, wow, this is actually really good. And then it was like, oh.
Planet Terror is such a fucking bop, man. Ugh.
I loved every second of it. Except for the rape scene. But
there was a rape scene? I thought there was going to be a rape scene in this movie, and then there wasn't, so I was happy.
I'm always glad when there isn't one.
I feel like as women, we're always just like, like fingers gripping our seats, being like, oh, is this man going to do a sex crime? Oh. And then when
anytime there's like a room where the girl is alone with a man, I'm like clutching my pearls.
Like, oh, don't do a sex crime. It's like, oh, you're just gonna do normal brutality to her? I guess that's okay.
I guess that's fine.
It's like, put your penis away, sir. Put it away. We don't want it. And of course, not only men can do it. Teresa, would you like to pull up the lyrics to Helena by My Chemical Romance so we can do a duet?
I don't want to get copyrighted.
No, if we just sing it really badly.
I don't know.
Here, you know what? Don't look it up. Just sing along with me. Ready? All right. I guess this bit's not working. Hey, Teresa.
What?
That's hot.
Dude, that's so hot.
You're so hot.
Oh my god. Shut the fuck up. You're so hot.
You're so hot. You know, this is so hot.
Do you know that picture of Paris Hilton where she's wearing she's on a runway and she's like, she has a shirt that says "Stop being poor"?
I knew that's what you were gonna say. Of course I do.
I love that picture.
Jesus. She is she is such a perfect body that she can wear like the most low-rise things where like her pussy is about to jump out and just get ya.
Yeah, you know, I was like, when I was drawing that drawing of me as Paris and you as Kim Kardashian, I realized like she was really skinny back then, and I was like, man, it's good to see her with some meat on her bones in this picture.
Oh, I am so happy that the early 2000s trends are dead and gone.
Yeah, the skinny trend was awful.
Could never be me.
Heroin chic.
Oh, bleh, bleh. Well, I'm so excited. And if you think I talk about dogs this week, wait till we're talking about dogs next week. You can never escape. We'll remember our lovely ghouls. It's not over till the Wilhelm screams. Take us away, Teresa.
Bye.
That's hot.
That's so hot. And remember, when Paris has to pee, Paris has to pee.